everybody, and welcome back to Wunu, your weekly Universal news and updates, where I go over everything that's happened at Universal Studios Orlando Resort on a weekly basis. This week we have some crazy things happening, with Halloween Horror Nights having dates and ticket sales, and just a ton of other crazy stuff. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. In the Lost Continent in Universal Studios Islands of Adventures, even though it was said last week by team members that Poseidon's Fury would reopen on Monday after going down for a very small refurb, it would remain closed on Tuesday. Team members said they did not know when it would reopen. However, it would reopen the next day. In the island of Toon Lagoon, some fake fishing wire would be added at Popeye's and Pluto's Bilge-Rat barges onto a sign. It's not particularly realistic, but you are living in a cartoon world, so yeah. In Jurassic Park, the Toppings Bar has returned to Burger Digs after being covered for nearly 2 years due to COVID. Condiment bars came back about, I believe, a year ago, and it's cool to see just things healing, even though it might be a little bit less healthy. In the Jurassic Park Discovery Center, Jurassic World: The Ultimate Pop-Up Book by Matthew Reinhardt, with illustrations by Rich Davis and contributions by Mark Sumark, are now available. It is on display here and can be bought if asked for by a team member. The book has a ton of pull tabs and pop-ups and is, just really cool. It costs $75. An additional seating area has also been set up by the Pizza Predatoria to help with the recent crowds. Back at the Discovery Center, lithographs that are sold here and around the parks are now made out of a higher quality plastic. The images are of fake posters for Jurassic World that are seen in the Velocicoaster queue, and it's just cool to see them be more high quality. In Hogsmeade, the Outpost no longer has themed stamps, so just keep that in mind when you want to send a letter. In Universal Studios Florida, the original theme park of Universal Orlando Resort, in Production Central, a new claw-marked Jurassic Park lunchbox is now sold in the studio store. It features caution tape and a T-Rex breaking through on the side. And the former Shrek 4D building has had a problem with rainwater separating surface layers from the base. The bottoms of these patches would be cut out to let the water flow out. At the former Shrek 4D attraction further, it would also be seen that over walls, that extended queue for the ride has been torn up. Also for the former attraction, on Thursday, a board would be placed over holes that were in the structure's entrance after the attraction sign was removed, just to make it look a little bit more formal. As seen here, but also likely throughout the parks, a new cartoon-looking popcorn cup is now used. As pointed out last week, part of the Mardi Gras facade was wearing and showing wood framing. That would be fixed on Monday. And inside this store, the Universal Orlando Annual Pass Holder shirt would go on sale for $20.99. Also, the secret menu of Hollywood Rip Red Rocket has permanently added Blink-182 songs All Small Things, which is code 182, and What's My Age Again, which is code 183. In the Hollywood section of the park, the Bride of Frankenstein will return to the Five and Dime after being damaged last fall. It's good to see her back. And in London, or Diagon Alley, a new Universal Orlando Annual Pass photo op has been set up right outside of London. In City Walk, a new metal 3D model kit for Hagrid's motorcycle is now set up in the studio store. Along with it, a platform 9 3/4 clock, lanyard pouches for the 4 houses, and a general Hogwarts one, green and camo Universal-themed hoodies, hats, pink hats, and Harry Potter mugs for each of the houses have become available. Also, an awning structure has been built onto the almost completely redone bus loop, pushing it towards completion. Also, Universal has cleared the bead tree. I'm just going to read my exact notes that I wrote down when I saw this. And this is all in all caps. I get why they would have to do this, but why? You didn't have to clear all of them. Arrow, beaters unite, with 30 exclamation points after it. Also, for some reason, the word Orlando has been covered with a tarped version of the Citybug entry sign that is on the bridge. This might be for some sort of overnight refurbishment, and it seemed to be, as the next day it would be back to normal. Also, the entrance to the Legacy store now displays some of the now-closed Shrek 4D's props that include maps and torture chambers and things like that. As for some general news, we can hop into what is my biggest update this week. The first Halloween Horror Nights permit would be filed, and it is for the Fast and the Furious as an alteration. Now, a lot of people are speculating that this might have to do with an actual change to the ride, but as by backed up by a few little props that we've seen, well, not props, but just things that we've seen, it's most likely to use the extended queue and backside of this building as a haunted house. Also, Halloween Horror Nights would post something on Twitter, being a picture of a phone that has blood on it with the text messages, "You know what they say, leave me alone, and never go alone." Universal would also officially start the sale of their Halloween Horror Nights tickets on their app. A new Halloween Horror Nights tab has been added to the app to accommodate this. Here, they are selling day tickets starting at $73.99, RIP tour starting at $249.99, and Behind the Screams Unmasking the Horror starting at $79.99. On this page, they would also announce that the event will start at 6:30 p.m. with various closing times, and that there will be 10 houses, 5 scare zones, and 2 shows. The event will be from September 2nd through October the 31st. Also, just a note, ticket prices change depending on the day. And just make sure to remember that if you want to go, buy your tickets as soon as you can. They get more expensive as time goes on. Another note, multi-sale tickets will most likely go on sale soon. They have almost never gone on sale the same time that single-day tickets do, and I don't believe that they actually have in the past 10 years. So if you want to buy a multi-day ticket, don't panic, they are probably coming. Also, exact dates would also be released every day within the event time, excluding Mondays, Tuesdays, and the Wednesday of the 14th will be there for the event. The Wednesday is most likely for a Microsoft event that is usually held at the event. Also, a page will be opened on Universal's website that the official Halloween Horror Night website links to that would tell us that there will be hotel ticket prices, hotel packages, and showed us a picture of an unreleased Never Go Alone shirt. That might be for the event, and we'll get more into that shirt later. An official promotional picture for the event would also be released, saying Never Go Alone, in a shining like blood written font. At the bottom it says, Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights, September 2nd through October 31st. Though on the 5 and dime in the Hollywood section of the studios, I needed to go over the Halloween Horror Nights stuff first. The Halloween Horror Nights shirt sewn on the website, and ornaments with the same design would come to the store. It would advertise it outside. The same merchandise is also now sold in the All Hallows Eve boutique. The store would advertise this too. They are also sold on Universal's online store. Halloween Horror Nights has begun. And real quick away from the HHN, throughout the parks, lighting rigs have been placed. This is most likely for the upcoming Grad Bash. So that's everything that I could find at Universal Studios Orlando this week. This was a really random update and some really early Halloween Horror Nights. So that's just really exciting. Anyways, with all of that said and done, this is Wunu signing off.